Thriller films have many common conventions that we've used within our film. These include characters. A strong superior male is normally the main character. A femme fatale is the cause of the trouble that occurs in the film. She is normally mysterious. An innocent victim, normally a young girl, is very sweet and vulnerable. In our film we've used what appears to the audience as a strong superior male character who you think is dangerous and going to be an attacker. And we've also used an innocent sweet girl who you think is the complete victim. Therefore, we have taken ideas from the common character conventions in thriller films, however, we've put a twist on them and developed the ideas and somewhat reversed the roles around, but still tried to keep their common identity that the audience normally expects from a thriller film. We decided to challenge the conventions of a regular thriller film to show originality, but kept most conventions the same so the audience will recognise it as a thriller film and enjoy it because of this.
Thriller films usually feature a contrast between bright lighting and dark lighting. Chiaroscuro, low lighting, is also used to create a sense of mystery and ambience for the audience. It keeps them wondering what is lurking around in the dark lighting. It creates a sense of unknown and sometimes confusion for the audience. The use of shadows is also a common convention because it adds an idea of mystery and a build-up of tension for the audience. It creates almost the same sense as what the low-key lighting does. We also use bright lighting in our flashback scene to show a dream sequence, how it is not in real time or real life. It's a fragment of her memories. We took this idea from the film Inception, where Leonardo DiCaprio is laying on the beach and the lighting is really bright from his point of view. It seems dreamy and not real life. It creates the idea to the audience that this is not in present time. We really like this idea, so we decided to incorporate it into our own flashback sequence. We wanted the same sort of theme as the Inception opening, so the bright lighting helped us create the same sort of illusion.
Setting, location. The setting in thriller films are usually isolated and in an obscure location, creating a sense of insecurity and isolation. It is common for the setting to be in a derelict location. We have used a desolate, quiet location, which again follows the common idea that they are alone and there is hardly anyone next to, no one to call for help. It shows the audience how isolated and alone they are. It makes the characters look extremely vulnerable.
Themes. The main theme that we used was complete confusion, as it is commonly used in thriller films. Our second main theme is revenge, as it creates a complex, confusing narrative. We tried to create this complex narrative in our film, as you have that idea is crime, but then you quickly find out that it was not just cold-hearted crime from the attacker, it was actually revenge of the victim. Therefore, we used these films in our film to help create a confusing, complex narrative. This is an important convention.
Editing. Thriller films commonly edit their films with many special effects. These include slow motion, overcranking, changing contrast of the clip, etc. We have used slow motion overcranking in our thriller film to create a sense that is not real life. This is a common convention in thriller films. We have also sped up and undercranked the pace and rerammed certain frames. By undercranking and overcranking, our clips of our film have created different levels of pace and action through the slow motion and undercranking and overcranking. By slow motion, it helps draw the audience attention to a certain shot that is of importance within the narrative.
Camera work. High-angle shots, low-angle shots, over-the-shoulder shots and establishing shots are common shots used in thriller films. The close-ups draw attention, over-shoulder shots give the audience a character viewpoint, and establishing shots set the scene to the audience. Examples of shots that we have taken to help mimic the thriller film are low-angle shots on the supposed male attacker to make him look strong and superior, which links back to the character conventions, and high-angle shots on the victim, which makes her look weak and less superior. We took inspiration from the film Seven, where they use many different shots and angles to show who beholds the most power within the film. These camera angles subconsciously show the audience who has power over who, as people with more power are filmed with high-angle shots, and people with less power are filmed with low-angle shots.
Sound. We've used an absence of diegetic sound and overlaid non-diegetic sound over the top to create an eerie feeling commonly used in thriller films. An example of a thriller film that used this technique in sound is Taken, where the main character is speaking to his daughter on the phone and the only sound you hear is the voice. The silence creates tension for the audience and makes them feel on edge. We have tried to incorporate this idea into our film with a girl voiceover. She pauses many times within the voiceover, giving the audience time to process what she is saying and create a connection with her. There is no background noise in our voiceover, and we have done this to create the tension.
This creates a plot twist and confusion for the audience. We try to replicate this with our narrative, where you think the girl is a victim the whole time, and this is all due to how we've portrayed her to make her look innocent. Then you also think that the guy is the attacker, but then you find out that in the end they've actually swapped roles and there's been a plot twist. Therefore, we have created the same sort of effect by creating that plot twist and the idea of confusion. The whole idea of a flashback was developed from the beginning of Casino Royale, where Bond is reliving his first kill, an Indian cricket game, in the flashback sequence where he is sitting talking to his enemy in an office in Russia. This gave us the inspiration for our flashback and the attack in our film.
Overall, we have tried to follow many thriller conventions through the use of editing, camera work and themes, as it subconsciously tells the audience a lot about the characters, as through the conventions it explains their personalities. Many thriller films inspired us: Shutter Island, The Prestige, Taken, Inception and Casino Royale. They had a great influence on our film as we looked at them extensively in depth during class time. They all gave us inspiration that helped us build ideas that we could put into our own thriller film.
We have developed the idea from Shutter Island as our main character, who looks like she is a victim, is actually the attacker, which is similar to what happens in Shutter Island. We think that Teddy is a marshal and is there to help and solve the crime. Then we find out near the end that he is in fact a prisoner of the island.
There are many narrative conventions that we have used in our film that we have discovered in other thriller films. The most effective convention that we have used is the inclusion of a red herring. Red herrings are when the plot shows how a character who we believe is either good or has a great influence on the film turns out to be the bad guy or have literally nothing to do with the film. An example we took this from was Shutter Island, where in the build-up to the film we saw that the deranged lady with the large scar across her neck was featured in a lot of the promotion pieces. However, when it came to the film, she was barely featured. This makes the audience try to figure out a plot that doesn't exist. We've also used a red herring as the audience believe the girl is attacked, but is in fact the attacker. We have therefore challenged the common conventions of thriller films by switching around the roles of the characters. Therefore, we have challenged the common conventions of characters while taking inspiration from other thriller films like Shutter Island.
In our film, we do have a girl, however she is not a femme fatale. She appears to be a victim, like a femme fatale, but she is in fact the attacker, therefore challenging the common conventions. This has been challenged by incorporating the red herring as the male character seems far superior, turns out to be the weaker character as he ends up attacked at the end of the opening of the film. Incorporated in this convention is the challenging that the femme fatale is not innocent and is the superior of the two characters. She ends up walking away from the attack and the male character lays on the floor after being attacked.
We decided that we would challenge these conventions to show variety and to make it more interesting and original and to make it more different for the audience.